Media. How to craft and share your story online without sounding salesy. That's what we're going to talk about today, so let's go.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
Okay, happy podcast day. Happy Tuesday. It's a fresh new week. Well, first of all, welcome to the show if you're brand new. And of course, if you are an existing listener, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. So last Thursday in the last episode, we talked about the importance, how to effectively create curiosity with your social media posts, right? And what we landed on was really honing in on and focusing on sharing your story and your journey, as opposed to putting focus and emphasis on your products and services and the features and the benefits, right? And it's a difference between people feeling like they're being sold to and people feeling like they're being included into your journey, right? At least getting a peek into your life, basically. And so, first of all, this is applicable for personal pages, right? If you have a social media presence and it's a personal profile, you're using it to network with people, or if you're building a personal brand. Today's conversation doesn't apply so much to like business pages and company pages where you are actually building an identity and a brand around that thing, that entity, and therefore, of course, you do want to kind of talk about the products and services because it's part of the company's and the business's story, right? But for yourself, you kind of have to separate that because people will get drawn into and attracted to and connect with your story, the human side of it. And if they see you just highlighting features and benefits, even in the context of you using them, if you're putting too much weight and emphasis on the products and services, features and benefits, then it's always going to feel salesy, right? They're not tuning into your profile or your account to be sold to. They want to know about you. If they want to be sold to, I mean, again, there's plenty of other profiles out there that are business accounts, that are company accounts, highlighting and marketing their products and services. So they don't want that from you. What they want is your story. And so that's why it's super important to focus in on that. Now, how do you do it, right? How do you do it? Like, it's easy to say and it's easy to maybe kind of hear. But when you get down to the brass tacks, how do you share your story? Like, what is it all about? I've taught this a lot over the years, especially in network marketing context, because it's a huge part of what we do. But I've whittled it down to some very, very basic, to a very, very basic framework. Basically, it's your before and after story, right? It's the challenges and the difficulties that you were experiencing before you started whatever venture that you're in, whatever products that you decided to start to use or service, or if before you started your business, what did your life look like before, and the challenges and the difficulties that you were facing then, that then drove you to make the decision to try product A, B, and C, or to try service A, B, and C, or to jump into a new business venture or entrepreneurial journey, right? And then, of course, the entrepreneurial journey can be part of the story. Yeah, I made the decision to do that. And then afterwards, what changed, right? What changed in your life, and how did it impact your life? What kind of, what did it mean? What did it change in terms of like the difficulties and the challenges you were facing? How did that relieve, those challenges? And that's it, right? That's it. Again, it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that because, first of all, you don't want it to be super long. And it's okay if it is super long at first. You can always kind of edit as you go and whittle it down and refine it. And also, the important thing here is just write it down, right? Just write it down and put it out there, and you'll refine it over time. I've gotten it's taken me, obviously, I mean, I've been in the network marketing profession for nearly 20 years, and it's not something that I immediately learned after listening to a podcast episode, right? Or after reading a book. It's something that I refined over time. So you have to actually just do it and be willing to kind of mess up as you go. That's a really important principle for everything. All right. So yeah, just use this framework, and as you kind of adapt it over the years, you'll not only get the develop the skill of coming up with a story, right, and being able to find that, but you'll also be able to kind of pick and choose and adapt your story to any particular circumstance or any particular need, depending on the audience that you're trying to reach, right? So what does this look like? For example, if we're talking about my network marketing story, and obviously for posts, even if it's a reel or a video, you want to keep it short, right? Like your reels, your videos on Facebook, or even a Facebook post, you want to keep it as brief as possible because people just tune out. I mean, it's just a reality of of modern times. So you just want to keep it short. So something like for me, for network marketing, I would be. I'm really, really grateful to this profession. I'm grateful to the company that I'm partnered with, because before all of that, I was broke and I could barely put gas in my car. Thank you, network marketing, hashtag, right? Something like that, something super simple. If I was going to go a little bit longer, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, I might say something like, yeah, I used to be a broke actor working minimum wage at a movie theater in my mid 30s. I couldn't afford, the dollar menu on McDonald's. But thankfully, I was introduced to this amazing profession, and it's absolutely changed my life. Simple as that. Right. And if you even want to do something more product focused, here's another example. My family has a long history of illness and disease, but thankfully, I'm so happy that I was introduced to the network marketing profession because it introduced me to some amazing nutritional products, but also to a different lifestyle that has allowed me to continue to work on my health and build longevity, so that I don't experience the same illness and diseases that most people in my family have experienced. So that's pretty short, and that's pretty to the point, right? And again, it focuses on my story and how the products and services or the business opportunity or whatever it is has impacted my life. And if people are kind of in a similar spot of where you were in the before side of your story, then that'll attract them. Number one, that'll get their attention, but also it's something that they can relate to, and that's, I guess, really the key, right? I always say, they connect to your story and they're attracted by it, whatever. But it's really, what people connect with is they see a piece of themselves or a part of their own story in your story, right? They're able to relate to at the very root of it, the struggle and the difficulty, because we all experience struggle and difficulty. And so knowing that, number one, you also experience struggle and difficulty automatically connects you, but then you showing that there is a way through that and a way to get to the other end, with a happy ending, or at least, a better outcome than when you started, then that gives them an idea or a hope that there might be something out there that, who knows, something that you're offering that also might help them. Right. So hopefully this makes sense. Again, it's really just your before and after. What did your life look like before you started, before you made the decision to start using these products and services, or before you started, the business venture that you're in? What difficulties, what challenges and adversities were you experiencing that drove you to start that journey? And then what did your life look like after you started that journey? Right. After once you decided to make that decision. Short and sweet. Keep it brief, and it should generate curiosity. Enough curiosity where, I mean, it's not going to be like, oh, I got 1 million hits, but enough to get you going. And then you can keep practicing this over time. I would do about maybe 2 of these a week, 80-20 rule, right? Of your posts, make 80% of them, about yourself and sharing, whatever, like what you're doing in the day, whatever you think is pertinent for your audience. And then 20% share, again, your story about how the products and services have impacted your life. And over time, you'll improve your skill and you'll, if you do this enough, you'll definitely generate consistently, you'll definitely generate enough interest so that you get a constant stream of people. You get a constant stream of people curious about your products and services or whatever it is that you're offering, right? So that's going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, we'll have a fresh new one on Thursday. So have a great midweek, and we'll see you in a few days. Until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.